Don't post up like that.
Hello.
You were like fully leaned back and just like waiting for me to begin.
All right,
So.
I'll start. Hello. Welcome to Honeydew Me podcast. I'm Cass.
And I'm Emma, and this is our podcast where we talk about sex, relationships, friendships, mental health, and how all of these things can be amazing, but they can also be a little sticky. And sometimes we feel a little bit of shame around our bodies, our relationships, our sex lives, and that can make us feel a little bit alone. And we don't want you to feel alone because we're right there with you.
Because
you're not special.
Alone. You're not special. That's our favorite saying. You're not special. And we mean that in the most loving, kind way because it means we can all relate. It means any shitty, weird, embarrassing thing you're going through. Yeah, sister, we're right there with you. Emma likes it when I say sister.
I love when you have a secret for me, sister. I love it.
I don't know where it's coming from, but it's here now. And we're also told that all of those things should be really easy. They should come naturally, and if they don't, there's something wrong. But that's just not the case. Sex is a learned skill. Relationships are a learned skill. I'm sorry. If you want to have a relationship like they did 300 years ago, I'm not interested. I'm not fucking interested. Also, let me go on this for a second because you know I hate
I'm following.
You know I hate this. When people talk about health stuff and they're like, well, that's not how they used to live. They also used to die at 25.
Yep.
They used to fucking die at 25. So don't tell me you want that health span, sister. Don't tell me you want that.
Don't tell me that.
Emma's showing her little disco ball fingers
I know.
if you're looking at us on video.
A different video, but my disco ball is shedding and the sticky little squares are now stuck to my fingers because it makes me feel good. Yeah. But that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to raise these disco balls, these tiny little disco balls, when I agree vehemently.
Vehemently. Here I am. So that's my thing. I bring it up all the time. My family's very irritated at me about it. But
I love it.
I think
Thank
it's
you
bullshit.
for sharing. I think it's bullshit too. Well, today is one of our favorite types of episodes to do. But before we jump in, I really need to tell you this one thing that I did that I can't stop thinking about.
Okay.
Because I've been waiting to tell you.
Oh my God.
So I went on a date last week and the guy that I was with, we were talking about movies and we were talking about like our favorite comedy movies that we enjoy. And we brought up Horrible Bosses because that's just a perfect comedy movie. And we were talking about like our favorite lines. He's like giving us like, oh yeah, I love the like, bend you over the barrel and show you the 50 states and like all of these ones that are like kind of classic, but like not super vulgar.
Okay.
Outwardly. He's like, what's yours? I was like, oh, I love when Jennifer Aniston says, you told me she was just a hole for your dick. And then he laughed and I was like, oh, maybe.
Oh, I just said that.
I just said that to a stranger. A stranger. But I said that and I thought about it for a really long time after. But I'm glad I didn't say the second favorite line, which is when Jennifer Aniston squirts her little dentist water and says, sorry, I'm a squirter, Dale. And I think that's really funny too.
That is hilarious.
That's hilarious.
It's so fucking funny. Absolutely.
You told me she was just a hole for your dick. And I think that's so applicable.
And I think that's peak comedy. And I can think of about 5 times that would have applied to my day.
I know. I really can. Anyway, I just had to share that. So we're
Thank
all
you for sharing
awkward and clunky, and nothing really comes out right, but it's still charming.
But it's incredibly charming. Let me tell you that.
I am incredibly charming. I promise you.
So charming. People pay to sponsor me talk.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That isn't charm. I don't know what is. You know who else is charming? I think our question asker is very charming today. Should we just jump in? Should I just go right into it?
Please just go right in.
Just go right in.
Please take it away.
This
is a Q&A episode.
Or do I have you read it in the entirety in your Jersey accent?
Should I read it as Tony Bolognese?
Or do I read it as Tony Bolognese? Maybe next question.
Yes, this is the episode that we love in which we answer your questions. So thank you for writing in. Take it away, Cass. I don't want an accent on this one.
Okay.
Please don't make me.
I don't want to.
Don't make me
I don't
sing.
want to. Have I ever
done.
told everyone that I worked at Taco Bell and I used to do accents in the drive-thru? Isn't that funny?
I love that. What was your favorite accent?
British, because it's the only one I can do.
All right.
I mean, it is what it is.
You were pretty good at New Jersey when you were Tony's best friend.
Okay. When I was Tony's best friend? That's a little rude.
Well, when you are Tony's best friend.
Okay. Anyways, question asker. We won't put an accent on your question. Hi there. Been a long time listener of the pod and have a question/need for advice. My fiance and I have been together for almost 4 years. We're in a super healthy relationship and I feel very happy with him. The last few months or so, our sex life has been a little less than normal and less than what I hoped for. We still have satisfying sex, but not as frequently, and it's pretty formulaic. We go to what we know works. I feel like I'm initiating more, probably 80% me, 20% him, and because of that, I get told no more, which never feels good. I've been wanting to get out of this lull to make our sex life fantastic again. Then, a few days ago, I woke up and saw him looking at sexual reels of Instagram models, saving and screenshotting them. He didn't know I could see his screen, and I haven't said anything. We both watch porn and have talked about boundaries. This doesn't cross any, but I still feel so bad, jealous, insecure. I think it's because when we talk about porn abstractly, it's easier to process, but actually seeing it hurt my feelings. My brain keeps telling me the story that he has sexual feelings about these women that he doesn't seem to have about me, and I hate that thought. I'm upset with him, which isn't fair because he didn't break my trust, but it really sucked to see. I'm feeling like I don't want to be affectionate right now. I wish I could be more evolved about this, and I'd love your perspective/advice on how to move past this and not be so hurt by something very normal.
I love that you're asking this question because I think it's so normal. Like, I know that you're saying very normal, and this question is very normal. These feelings are very normal. Yeah. I mean, I loved my relationship at one point when I had one, and I would still get to times where like things just felt sticky and it felt like we weren't communicating and like nothing really felt wrong. And they weren't doing anything wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on why I didn't feel great. And I think we all get to these points, whether in friendships or relationships. And it's great to ask these questions because we should try to figure it out. We shouldn't just bury it and shove it under the rug when things don't feel perfect, but they're kind of great, but nothing's really wrong. It's like, that brings me anxiety, and I would so much rather us find like a common language to start talking about this.
Yeah, the generations before us buried shit. Like, and that's why they're so fucking unhappy. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, there are a lot of very unhappy people. And it's because they take these things and they're like, well, I shouldn't feel this way. And then they bury it. And it's like, actually, you should feel however you feel. What you do with those emotions is a different story, but you deserve to feel however you feel. And I think it kind of relates back to what we were saying in the beginning of just like, yeah, it is so normal. Like, I guarantee you 1,000 people are like, oh, fuck, yeah. I've been in that situation.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think we talk about all of these things on this podcast that ideally sound great, right? Like, yeah, I'm cool with my partner watching porn. Like, yeah, that sounds so baller. Like, fuck
so
yeah,
fucking baller. That was totally baller, and you know that.
And you know that. We can't. I said that to Emma the other day, but we can't remember what I said it about. Anyway, I've been using that term a lot more. Anyways,
yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think right now we are in the time and space to not accept things that feel this way. Like, we have so many more tools than our parents, grandparents have ever had. And I think we can make our relationships better in this way, where we call these moments out and we grow together and make them stronger. But that comes at breaking this down a little bit. So maybe we start with the lull, because that feels very normal, common, and we have a lot of answers for that.
100%. Yeah, let's get into that. So I think a lot of this has to do with initiation. You brought up how you're initiating a lot more than your partner. And yeah, so you are going to get rejected more. And that fucking hurts. Like, yes, it just sucks to get rejected. We can obviously talk about reframes and all of that, but it is going to sting a little bit. There are some practices we can put into place to make sure it doesn't. But the first thing I want you to ask your partner is like, what does your partner need in order to give you an enthusiastic yes? You know what I mean? Like, are you asking him right when he gets off work? Are you asking him right when you're about to go to bed? I'm famous for bringing up difficult conversations right before my husband's about to fall asleep. And it's just like, that's not the best time.
Right. And I'm not, this is not in term to like blame it on when you ask the question.
No.
But I am so guilty of asking as a way to check it off of my mental to-do list and not being intentional about how and when I do things. And this doesn't always revolve around sex, but it does revolve around like, I did it.
Yeah.
And that adds to like the times in which I ask and get rejected. So I think that's a great point to pull out first, which is like just being intentional about when we ask. Not that that's the sole problem, but that is something we can take into consideration when we're trying to work on this lull and the feeling of like, I never feel like I'm approaching you at the right time.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should look at when I'm approaching you or ask, what is the right time?
Yeah. Like you are allowed to ask, when would you like me to initiate sex?
Yeah.
I feel like
and they should have an answer as well.
Yeah. We act like we can't ask very clear, specific questions about sex because we should just know. And if we don't know, it means there's not this connection that is supposed to magically be there. But that's not the case because you're just two fucking human beings. And obviously, lulls happen. It is so normal, despite what the angry men in our TikTok comments say. It is so normal. Maybe he has responsive desire is another thing worth considering because I think we tend to gender spontaneous and responsive desire and assume most women have responsive desire, which they do, but that doesn't mean that men don't have it, that people of every gender don't experience responsive desire. And so maybe he needs some more warm-up time. Like when you ask someone with responsive desire, do you want to have sex? Emma, what's the answer?
No, I don't. Get a hobby.
Get a fucking hobby because they need time to get turned on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you're asking me at my ground zero. I promise you that I have no sexual drive. You will know if I am turned on and like in a mood because I have been like thinking, I've been like being more flirty. You can tell that I'm flirting with you. If you're asking me out of nowhere, thank you. And you have to know that I'm starting from the ground. And we need to build that fire for me to feel turned on, which sometimes I'm willing to do. Sometimes I'm not.
Exactly.
But you just have to know where you're starting with someone with responsive desire. The question does not count as foreplay.
No.
The question is trying to see where their mind is at first. And then if the answer is yes, we start to build with the foreplay.
Yeah, and you can maybe even consider rephrasing how you say, like, do you want to have sex? Maybe it's, do you want to have sex later so you have more time for that buildup? Or, like, you know, would you be open to seeing if, like, you can get in the mood right now if we just, like, make out for a little while? You know, it doesn't have to be, like, do you want to stick it in me right now? Because that's a lot. And also, think about what the fuck are you asking? Are you asking for penetrative sex, or are you really just wanting him to go down on you? Because maybe if you are more specific, it will feel, if he is overwhelmed, obviously I'm not inside his head. I'm in no man's head.
I'm in no man's head.
I am in no man's head. But if you say, like, you know, I would really like for you to go down on me, maybe he just doesn't want to have to, like, perform and do all of these different things that come with our very, like, standard definition of sex. But maybe he's totally down to go down on you.
Yeah,
I think just being really clear about what you want.
About what you want.
Yeah.
And I also think you can use this time to